Yeah, go on then. Let's run it back real quick. The championship in the cabinet. Thiago was dripped out and won player of the season. Yes, Leeds pipped us to the FA Cup, but you know what? I couldn't give a f***, because look at the backdrop. We're in the Prem, baby. Here are the boys. Finally, after 4 long seasons, we're in the Prem, where we belong. It took us 2 tries to get here, so let's not bottle it and get relegated straight away, shall we, lads? I can't imagine he's a fan favourite, but I'm gutted Garbut's retiring. And Hamilton, the cheeky git, thinks he's too good for us. Don't worry, I've already found their replacement. Mr. Who Told You to Come Off Your Line, bruv, joins on a free. Right back, left back, centre mid, it'll be good for us. We did that deal at the back end of last season. I'm just glad it makes sense now. 41 mil in the kitty. How are we going to stay up with that, Gary? Do you want us to get relegated, mate? We need to sell some players. Don't worry, Bowden, you're not going anywhere. The same can't be said for Proctor and Skinner. A little challenge for you both. Whoever doesn't come back 70 rated is being chopped off. Sid from Toy Story has been shipped out for $1 million, as well as some Youth Academy grads. This is where our investment in Connie last season is going to pay off, boys. And because Leeds have come in for him, I'm going to rinse this gormless mug for all he's got. 25 mil, you got yourself a deal, son. Bargain of the century. I actually didn't want to sell Kai Janahova. I think he's got a bright future. Kills me to see him in a Porto shirt. 69 mil in the bank, and I know just who to spend it on. Eric Ten Hag's greatest enemy has swapped red for red and joined the AMMIES from rivals Man United for 60 mil on the button. He needs no introduction. We've all seen him play for Dortmund. We all know there's a player in there, so we've given him the number 10 and the Mercurial so he looks the part. 35 mil for Diallo. Is Sir Jim smoking crack? Don't let him go in season 3. He's not going anywhere though. We've spent the rest of the budget on our Brexit Youth Academy programme, hoping to find the next Nat Phillips type. 46k in the bank though. We might not even be able to sign the younglings. Pete, the new Preds, and our captain, by the way. Top 5 predator behind these slots, sorry. Anyway, with the addition of our grade A superstar, I reckon we've got enough in the tank to avoid the battle for relegation. You lot certainly do. Stable mid-table all the way, baby. In the race for Salford season 5's golden boot. You're all backing our first signing, Thiago. Doesn't make sense. I guess he did win player of the season last year. Now let's jump into the Prem, lads. If we want to avoid the drop, we've got to be picking up points against teams like Blackburn. Sexiest hair in the Prem? Guardiola and Sean Dyche. Done are the days of slaphead domination in the Prem. Marco Ball is here to stay, especially if Dele Alli can hit the back of the net. Moise Keane's taking a turn for the worse though, isn't he? Dion Sanderson just deciding to play Phillips onside. Blackburn's first chance of the game, a goal. Oi, what's the corner flag done to you? 1-0 down against fellow relegation favourites isn't a great look for the AMMIES. Hardly the way we want to scrapbook our first game in the top flight. Oh, hang on. Snatching the ball back. Our front 2 linking up. This is more like it, lads. Captain Watt testing out the new Preds. Oh, stinging in the gloves of the goalkeeper. It's our left back's turn to play Phillips onside this time. And you'll never guess what happens. He sprints over to nut the corner flag. You're a weird one, aren't you? 80 minutes on the clock. Looking to rescue a point. Who steps up? Our player of the season. Oh, Thiago, I've just had a go at their man for playing with them. In other news, Best is out for 4 weeks. At least won't be playing anybody onside. A trip away to Molineux next. Suzuki stepping up for the injured Kian Best. Probably should have started Maitland-Niles in this game, as the youngster lets them get a cross in. And Beigemo catches their man with a high boot. Lucky not to get a red, but can Quevin save our blushes? No. At least we're not a man down. Sancho on the ball, gets away from his man. 60 million quid's worth of a reverse flip-lap. Stevie Allen on the shoulder, he plays it across to Marcus Force, who buries it in from 6 yards out. He couldn't bag in the championship, but can tap it in the Prem. Make it make sense. 84 minutes on the clock and I had to run this save back from Quevin Keller. But as one Irishman plays the hero, the other plays the villain. Scales misses the last ditch effort and Wolves win 2-1 in the dying embers. Our first loss in the Prem. Away days are going to be tough. We need to be getting points at home. Look at the bounce back against the Hammers. And now you want to take a man down, Scales. In our box, yeah? At least Moise Keane looks a bit more like himself. But look at the state of this defensive line. Come on, lads, that's crap. Kudo steps up from 12 yards and buries it. Jeremy makes it 2-0. Kelly gets a hand to the shot, but surprise, surprise, we give away another pen. That's 3 pens in 3 games. And of course Kudos converts. 3-0 at home in front of the solar Salford. We managed to pull one back, but lads, we're not doing ourselves any favours in our first 3 games, are we? Has potential to be special. Our scout in Scotland's done the job here. If we keep up our current form, the youth of tomorrow might as well be playing the games as today. We desperately need 3 points against Forest. It would have been a cracking diving header from Dele Alli. Thiago into Armstrong, outside of the boot, back of the net. Thiago's turn to find the onion bag. 2-0 up. Do we concede? Well, yeah, of course we concede. But the point is we're winning. Dele Alli over to Armstrong, takes a touch, and a wonderful volley across goal secures us our first 3 points in the Prem. Oi oi, Kai Bevan, what's a curling? The youngster, you're going to be shipped out on loan. Not even Nakamura gets a spot in the Prem. The last game of these highlights before we stop off in January is against the Gunners. I was feeling brave and thought, you know what, perhaps we can steal 3 points against the big boys. How wrong I was. We go 3 goals down within 60 minutes. It was then I decided we need to change things up. We switched to a 4-3-3 to get Sancho a bit further forward, and the gamble paid off with a little chip butty over Ramsdale. The only good thing about this game is Big Sanch getting his name on the score sheet. Don't get it twisted. We still conceded. Our midfield and defence are weak as piss. I really and truly thought the AMMIES were ready to play with the big boys, but how wrong I was. We've been well and truly put in our place. And just look at the state of our home support. You lot get season tickets for life after watching that car crash. Teetering above the relegation spot by a single point. We've conceded 44 goals in 19 games. We've got to switch to a 5 at the back or we're done for. We have scored 30 goals so far. So Sinclair and Thiago, keep doing what you're doing, because they've accounted for 2/3 of our tally. This formation also gets Sancho in the hole, so he can hopefully have more impact in the game, because he's not doing niche in left mid with 4 and 2. After selling some youth academy grass behind the scenes, we've still got naff all in the bank. Ahmad wants to do one, and you know what? I'm going to let him. We're not going to be using wingers in our new formation anyway, so I want to get one of these 2 guys in alongside Elliot Watt. I just can't decide who yet. So if we don't win the cup this season, at least we've got one at home. Sorry, Clarky. We've swapped in for Diallo and some change. Look at that. It's like I'm watching the Avengers. We went for quality over quantity this season, so let's hope our risk pays off. And in other news, Mr. Has Potential to Be Special has been shipped out on loan, along with Wallace and Bevan. I'm trying to get Vaughan to move too, before he throws his toys out the pram like Diallo did. Thankfully, Lazio has taken him from us. It's always a pleasure seeing you, boy. Toby Bowden has joined Palace to learn off Eze and Elise. And Daishi. Long time no see, slaphead. He's taken young Stanley Mills back to Merseyside. Right, that's that. Clarksy, no pressure lad, but you kind of need to save our season. And Sanch, bro, you need to show us why we spunked 60 mil on you. Somehow, some way, the assistant manager has done a job in Carabao. So I guess we'll jump straight into that. Winning a cup when you're having a season to forget can sometimes just buy you that bit of time you need to get things back on track. Oh, just watch this from Jenko. He 2-foots the man. Then he get back up and they still get to the ball first. The bloke's like 50 rated at this point. He will never be allowed to retire. I don't care. We simmed the first leg and lost 2-0. And then a Marco Asensio diving header puts us 4-0 down on Ag. And now they're just taking the piss with goals like that. We've just witnessed a Patson Daka masterclass. We might have lost the tie, but Thiago still wants his name in the papers. The back pages of the Sun are going to be littered with the tatted Turk as he bags himself a hat-trick of headers. He just doesn't know when to quit, does he? And that's why we love him. Is he future captain material, lads? I think so. We come crashing out of the semis. Thanks a lot, Leicester. Looking to avoid a similar drumming in the league against Crystal Palace. I didn't see Toby Bowden anywhere in the starter lineup, but they didn't exactly need him, as Marcus Rashford just sits down about 6 of our players. Well, it wasn't 6, it was just Carl Jenkinson, but it certainly felt embarrassing. It's the Irish Viking from the corner this time. Don't know where Thiago was, he must have been on holiday. Oh no, wait, here he is, dinking the ball over to Dion Sanderson, one of his mazy runs. The goalkeeper gets fingertips to it. Sancho floats one in and Thiago buries it from the corner. I'm starting to get worried. I thought you weren't going to score ahead of this game, lad. We secure 3 points at home against the Eagles, and now we're away to Blackburn. Yes, I know we've already played them this season, but they're also in the relegation dogfight, so we have to be picking up points against them. Oh, this touch from Sinclair is delicious. If only the finish could match. The Irishman making a darting run on the inside. Does well to get away from his man, plays it through to Thiago, and the cheeky Turk scores a cheeky chip. Now, it wouldn't be a Salford City game in the Prem if he kept a clean sheet, would it? Bryn Hiddleston buries it to make it 2-1. And then Sancho says, 60 million gaffer, have a bit of that. Jaden with a pick of the bunch in a 3-1 win away at Ewood Park. Look at it, it's easily goal of the episode, but is it goal of the series? I don't know. I'll have to let you lot decide that. Couple of Youth Academy grads for you, and Rodri Lloyd, gone up 3 overalls, but look, 4 to 7 play styles. And Jack Brown from Scotland. Just 2 more lads to look out for. 2 big games left of these highlights, and they're both important in their own right. Leeds up first, and I don't know why, but I feel like this can blossom into a cracking rivalry. The FA Cup final loss is as good of a reason as any to hold a grudge. And going 1-0 up in the first half is a great way to start. Thiago makes it 2-0 off the rebound, and all week is piss tackle from Sanderson, and Richer is never going to miss a chance like that. Clarkson probably should have just readied it into the back of the onion bag, but he lays it off to Watt. They make it level on the stroke of half time, and then basically from kickoff, Sanderson loses it. Federico Chiesa, no one is going to catch him. And where the hell is Keller running out to, by the way? The Italian places it into the empty net and makes it 3-2 in our latest derby. Sanderson actually makes a tackle, and then Rutter, you dirty little git, snaps our captain from behind, and then he sees himself off for an early shower. Well done, ref. 20 minutes left against 10 minutes. Clarkson and Sancho linking up. Leighton's tucked his ears back. He's taped him against his head, so there's no chance of stopping him. And the boys brought us level. 3-3 it stands, and we've still got time to go and find a winner. It's Sinclair with a cheeky chip past the keeper. Has it crossed the line? Nah, we've been done there. I saw it cross the line with my own eyes. We walk away from Ellen Road with a point gained, and now it's the big one. Manchester United, and our number 10 with a point to prove against his old club. It doesn't matter if in a relegation dogfight, we weren't going to miss this one. Keller, what are you playing at? An utter kerfuffle from our number 1 in the first 10 minutes. We're looking to bounce back. He gets rid of it. Into Armstrong, who knocks it down to Thiago. What's this? Jadon Sancho on the halfway line. What the hell do you think he's going to do? Turns on the jets, gets into the box, and he places it past Onana. Does he celebrate? No. He shows respect, but Ten Hag is still fuming, you little gimp. Oh, I forgot about this. Look, this is the most blatant dive I've ever seen in my life. They didn't even show the replay. That's how I know it's corrupt. Keller dives the right way, but misses the ball somehow. Honestly, it's enough to make me start throwing hands. I'm coming for Ten Hag, Anthony and Lisandro Martinez. They're all going to get clapped. Anyway, Clarkson fires the ball into Thiago. On once more to Sinclair, who travellas it across goal to make it 3-2. Can we cause an upset against United at the first time of asking? No, I spoke too soon. But this one, right here, hurts the most. Anthony, the little cretin, dances his way from right to left and puts the ball in the back of the onion bag. He's stolen our draw from us, and God knows where this leaves us in the league table. Oh God, don't look, we're rock bottom. Up 10 points since Jan, only scored 18 goals, and in that time we conceded 29. Okay, 5 at the back isn't the one, so we're going all out attack. 3-4-3, baby. Let's go down swinging. That means you're coming back, Toby. Cheers, White, up +7. And Harry Vaughan, we're going to need you too. Thiago, I'm looking at you, mate. You're the fan favourite, the people's choice. Everybody else, just feed Thiago. If we get him the ball, we've got a chance. They love him, you love him, I love him. Just do us a job, boss man. Newcastle at home, and Sancho snapping legs. Cuts inside, gets a finesse shot off, and you'll never guess what happens from the corner. The big dollar kebab house brick house puts us 1-0 up from the corner. And a special shout out to Quevin Keller, because it could have been not 1, not 2, not a Zeballos ball roll 3, not 4. Will Fish coming in with the side of tackle 5. It could have been 5-1 before half time. Riding our luck is Harry Vaughan to put a ball into the box, and Leighton Clarkson take a bow, son. I know he's only from like 5 yards out, but who cares? An overhead kick's an overhead kick. I've got a good feeling about that boy. He's just got it all. 2-1 in the 74th minute, and what do you think happens here? Yeah, you're right, penalty. Does he convert? Of course he does. And then it's Lo Celso to put the final nail in the Salford City coffin. Nuki walk away with all 3 points, but we've got to bounce back against Leicester Yes, they've absolutely spanked us in the cup earlier on in the season, but we've got to dig deep and just find a way to win. Up steps Jadon Sancho, our £60 million man. We defended like our lives depended on it, and in the 73rd minute, there's carnage in the box. Keller fumbles it, but we managed to clear it and we secure our first 3 points in this 6-game stretch. 3 points from a possible 6, and now we welcome Aston Villa to the bando. And this finish from Thiago, just gets me all riled up. 1-0 up, but some awful deflections don't fall our way, and Villa pull one back. Foden gets taekwondoed in the box, but he manages to pull one back to Thiago, and Martinez gets a glove to it. And do I even need to commentate over what happens here? You already know the story from the corners. 55 minutes on the clock. Can we hold out to get our second lot of 3 points? Will it be a Keller masterclass? Unfortunately not. He couldn't get a hand to it, and we walk away with 4 points from a possible 9. Oh God, look at the state of it. 19th place. We've jumped up 1 spot. But look, there's 4 points between 16th and 20th. Still all to play for in the last 3 games of the season. It's second place Chelsea up first, and I say the form is in our favour. We're sticking with the 3-4-3. The only changes are Nakamura in, Watts out, and Callum Morton playing left wing. I could be joining you, Poch, if the AMMIES don't avoid the drop. Now we can look back and ask questions all we want, like why didn't we buy more players? Why haven't we been fired yet? And why haven't we been playing Callum Morton since day 1? A lethal strike with his left peg, and he's put us 1-0 up at the bridge. Just look at the soul of Salford. It could be a stroke of genius from Sir Marco if we can walk away with all 3 points. A pointless challenge from Will Fish leads to not only a yellow card, but Nkunku floating a ball into the box. And as we struggle to play it out, the ball falls to Zielinski and it's 2-1. And now we're in a spot of bother. The Polish brother plays it through to Nkunku. Sanderson comes in with a great challenge. No, wait, hang on. Oh, you've got to be joking. If that's a foul, then it's a red card, ref. Nah. I'm smelling a Todd Bowie corruption jobby. Yep, still 19th place on goal difference. But if we win our next game, we could jump out of the drop zone. But we need Wolves to do a job over Blackburn. We've got 13th place Spuds up next, and they've still got Son knocking about. Now we're back with our strongest 3-4-3. So let's be having you, Spurs. It's come right down to the wire, hasn't it? We don't just need good performances, we need bloody luck to fall our way too. And that scramble in the box means it might just be on our side. Hunting them down like a pack of lions, it's Armstrong to nick the ball away. He gets it on his right foot, Trivela across goal, and it dinks off the post. 75 minutes on the clock, and it's Liam Scouse with a great challenge. He's on the ball now, we're trying to play out from the back. Will Fish into Elliot Watt. He plays it through to a deep line, Jadon Sancho. Toby Bowden's the furthest one forward. Can he find the right pass? Of course he can. The right pass is always into Thiago. On once more to Sinclair, and he buries it. That wonderful team goal means we walk away with 3 points. We've done the job over Spurs, but have Wolves done the job over Blackburn? We're 1 point above relegation, but it's still tighter than a duck's arse down here. Theoretically, from 16th to 20th could still go down. Oh, I've just noticed Sheffield versus Blackburn on the last game of the season. That's going to be tasty for us. Let's not waste any time. Brighton's the last game of the season. And let's be honest, we need 3 points going into this match. We can't risk getting a draw. It's no exaggeration to say that this is our most important game as Salford gaffers so far. And it's Bowden on the ball. He knocks it through to Sancho, who's been a man reborn the second half of the season. He dinks it up to Thiago, who comes crashing in with the header, sending out love to all his baby mamas around the world. Going up 1-0 early doors has definitely put the boys at ease. Now we've just got to defend. Well, that's easier said than done. Clarkson gets caught trying to backheel it to Will Fish, and Brighton equalise. I can't be too hard on Leighton Clarkson. I mean, he did score a bicycle kick for us. Anyway, shout out to Keller, who kept us in it not 3 but 4 times. 4 massive saves to keep us in the biggest game of our season. The biggest game in the club's history. On the cusp of half-time, we managed to snuff out their 5th consecutive attack. And as we charge on the counter, Vaughan gets lucky with the interception. Sancho on the edge of the box plays it back to Watt, into Clarkson, and it's Ivan Needle stuffed back through to our number 10, the big man, Jadon Sancho. 5'11" is big, alright, I don't care what Tinder says, but look, it might not be Ivan Needle, but it's definitely the best pass I've ever seen anybody make with a football in any game of football ever. Hyperbole aside, it's Vaughan on the edge of the box and he charisma travellas that into the top left stanchion. Put a bit of swaz on it, Jeremy. A bit of swaz. 3-1 up in 75 minutes. The boys are running rampant in Brighton. And who's yet to get on the score sheet? The one, the only Sinclair Armstrong. Credit to the boys. They have absolutely torn Brighton apart in the final game of the season. And we've done it. We've done the impossible. We've avoided relegation and bought ourselves another year in the Prem. Look at that. It's beautiful, isn't it? Shout out to this man. It feels like he's dragged us through hell and back in the second half of the season. 19 and 10 in the Prem for Thiago, 17 and 10 for Sinclair, and a very healthy 9 and 9 for Jadon Sancho in his first season. You thought it was over? Peep the backdrop. Somehow, some way, the assistant manager has done a stonking effort in the FA Cup. I haven't played a single game. So with that being said, we're probably not going to win, and it's Luke Garbutt's final game for the AMMIES. He's going to be given the armband. That defence looks a little bit iffy, doesn't it? We might have a shot here. Janko is called up, obviously, to play against his old team. So, lads, I don't know what to say. Let's just go out and enjoy ourselves. It's just dawned on me that if we win this game, we get European football next season. Pretty sure it's Europa League and all. Maybe we should have fielded a stronger team. Malin says, stronger team, Gaffer, as he nicks the ball off Kieran Trippier. God knows how old he is at this point. I'm not keeping track. But Malin, underrated player, body feints back inside, who finds the golden boy, and guess who lays it back to? Thiago! Bejmo is stunned. Look, he's just shook as Thiago runs and celebrates a goal with the old man. Dived a bit late there, aren't you, Ramsdale? No wonder Raya came in. I forgot we're in back-to-back cup finals. And Thiago scored last year as well. You know what, I think he scored every time we've come to Wembley. Anyway, after Cairns made a fantastic save, he's called into action again, but Martinelli gets the best of him this time. The Gabriel's linking up to level the score. Is best, playing it into Armstrong. And are we going to turn on the heat? With that pass across from Bejmo was more of a gentle simmer than it was a burning flame. Quick passing as Nakamura continues his run. His only diversion as Sancho plays it across and Thiago just nudges it in. Across goal and off the post. That's a delicious finish, boy. Thiago then tries to take down Davies. No luck. Dion Sanderson gives it a go, but it must be like running into a brick wall. Is he the best Canadian to play football? I can't think of any more off the top of my head. Anyway, it's Martinelli on the ball. Sanderson nicks it away, and as Cairns goes to clear it, it's a trampoline touch, and the other Gabriel makes it 2 apiece. 63 minutes on the clock. Still 2-2, and we're keeping the ball nicely. Not exactly liquid football, but it's possession based. Who's that breaking through? Is that Kian Best? So he does what he does best. Puts it on a plate for Thiago. Carl Jenkinson rolling back the ears with a crunching tackle. And he's carrying it out from the back. Plays it into Sancho. And it somehow falls to Nakamura. And just look at this jam. Where was all of this luck earlier in the season? I don't care. Armstrong with the back heel. On once more to Thiago. And he does a chip butty over Ramsdale. He's rounded off his visit to Wembley with 4 goals. And hopefully lifting the FA Cup the second time of asking. Jenkinson with a massive tackle in the box, taking out 2 men. It's Smith Rowe played through. It's a wonderful turn. But Alex Cairns is off his line quickly to snuff out the shot. And lads, we have done it. We have done it. We have lifted the FA Cup the second time of asking with an incredible upset against Arsenal as Luke Garbutt lifts the FA Cup. Just let it sink in that we finished 17th and now we're going to be playing Europa League football next season. And Thiago snuck off at the celebrations to crack on with Alex Scott. This season, one way or another, is our greatest season yet. Shout out Elliot Watt for somehow keeping more clean sheets than even the goalkeepers this season. Sancho has finished with a healthy 10 and 15 in all competitions. And obviously our top goal scorer this season is Thiago Trakush. I'll give it to you, you guys know a baller when you see one. And just like that, the 2027-28 season has come to a dramatic close. I want to thank you lot for all the love and support you've shown me on this series so far. And for liking and subscribing. But our journey isn't finished with Salford yet. So until next time. Stay safe. And adios. Champions, champions, ole, ole, ole.